Recently, I had the honor to bestow Paul Harris Fellow recognitions on our Modesto Rotarians. It's a proud tradition that honors the memory of Rotary's founder, Paul Harris. So much good begins with these gifts. Wells are constructed, children are vaccinated against illness, senior citizens are afforded meals and services, and children and adults are educated and given professional opportunities. Folo Akintan on her first. Folo? You'd like to say a few words?
Hi, I miss you all. Thank you. It's an honor to give in these times of need all over the world.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Folo. The next one up we have is Anil Halapa. Anil.
Hi, thank you for. So after 8 years being in Rotary, finally I got my first Paul Harris Fellow. I think one of the ways that I can speed this up being is what Kate does, the monthly $83 per month automatic withdrawal towards the foundation. And I think I'll start that, but I'm really glad that I'm finally a Paul Harris Fellow, and I thank all the members of this club, because without you, the recent project that got approved would not be approved, because all of you had put in money for the Paul Harris Fellow, and 50% of that came back to us, and now the rules have changed, but thank you all for being there, so we can do all these great projects, and I will be participating more actively in regards to that. Thank you, Paul. Ryan, for helping me say a few words.
Thank you. So Anil mentioned something very important, and that's contributing monthly. So setting up that credit card to automatically deduct monthly, and you don't even notice it, and it's going to come out, and hopefully, it just automatically comes out, and every year you'll get that Paul Harris $1,000 deduction. So thank you, Anil, for mentioning that. We appreciate that. Okay, we have Todd Barton on his second Paul Harris. And Todd, if you'd like to say a few words.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for the award. No, it's very nice. I think the Paul Harris thing, especially in this time, reminds us what we may take for granted. And there are some things out there that we can do as a group, even when we can't be available in person, and be able to help people overseas who may not have some of the access that we do to resources. I do want to thank everybody for being on the call. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, President Ryan, and stay safe.
Todd, you got it. Thank you. Appreciate it. And Bruce Laverty is a double whammy in a good way. He's got his third and fourth Paul Harris designation. So, Bruce?
Great. Thanks, President Ryan. It's just a real pleasure to be part of an organization that affords these opportunities to give and do great work around the world. And a big shout out to Janine, who got me turned on to that monthly contribution several years ago. And as you said, you don't notice it, and it does a lot of good. And I appreciate Rotary for sponsoring that. So thank you.
Thank you, Bruce. Appreciate it very much. A friend of mine, past President Phil Trumpeter, and he has got his sixth. Past President Phil, if you'd like to say a few words.
Sure. Thank you, President Ryan. I was like Anil. I didn't get my first Paul Harris Fellow, I think, until maybe 10 or 11 years after I'd been a member of the club. And, something moved me. It might have been a Mike and Susie Keckler presentation. I was always much more interested in local projects and the local foundation. But once I got the bug, and then I started the monthly payments, and then when you and Ryan, when you and I went to Hamburg, and where I was really impacted by all of the good that Rotary does around the world, it's just such a reinforcing thing to do, to give to Rotary's international project. So I'm really proud to be Paul Harris plus 6. So thank you.
You're welcome, past President Phil. Thank you very much. Annalisa Wimberg-Stevens, she's got a 6 Paul Harris, and if you'd like to say a couple words.
Thank you, President Ryan. One of the reasons I joined Rotary was because I love the way that Rotary makes a difference in our community, and I love the way that Rotary has an impact on the world. And I feel really fortunate to have been able to be a guest at Rotary meetings in several other countries, and to have even been able to bring a project home when I visited Nepal. That I'm just so grateful to our club for participating in that particular project. But I think it's quite easy to become a Paul Harris Fellow, and I was determined to just start right away. So I did. And this is I'm my 7th year as a Rotarian and my 6th Paul Harris, and I'm going to keep going every year. So I think it's great.
Well, that is a great goal, and thank you very much. And then is past President Kathy Halsey on?
Yes.
You have got a great gift to make, and I'd like to turn it over to you.
Well, thank you, Ryan. And before I do that, one of the things that we were never able to do was kind of do a really quick wrap up of the auction that we did last month. Because I'm a numbers person, and there's some numbers in here I wanted to share with you. And actually, some of the items that we had were Paul Harris Fellows, but we had a goal of $35,000, and we actually raised $38,685, which was absolutely incredible. And this year, for the first time, we had a Buy It Now feature, and we had 17 people that took advantage of that. And then we also had the option that you could give to an academic and vocational scholarship, or a junior high outstanding citizenship. And on the scholarships, we had 77 people that took advantage of that, and that raised an additional $2,700 as part of our goal. And then we had 42 that did the outstanding citizenship for $1,475. And then one thing I loved is people had the option to do a straight donation, and we had $1,300 that came in that way. And the thing that I loved the most about it was that when we did the live auction, it seems like there's a handful of people that bid, and the rest just enjoy the show. And in this case, we had 40% of our Rotarians at our club participate in this auction.
Wow.
Kathy, hello, President Ryan, it's Tracy. I just want to tag on to Kathy's message. And we want to make sure that we share with all of our club members our secret weapon for our Rotary auction was Amy Wolf. And without Amy's help, we were going to attempt a live auction. And you know, those are pretty difficult. Amy had the expertise. She'd done all the research on auctions for nonprofits, and thanks to her, she directed us toward 32 auctions. She helped us set everything up. She was our resource, our expertise, our cheerleader, and we could not have done it without Amy. She was a lifesaver. And so, Amy, Kathy, and I want to thank you in a memorable way. Kathy?
You know what, Amy, there is no better way for us to thank you than to honor you with a Paul Harris Fellow. So that's our gift from Tracy and I, and we thank you endlessly for what you did to help us and to help the club. So congratulations.
Yay! Thank you.
Amy Wolf, if you'd like to say a couple words.
Well, that's not fair. I wasn't expecting that. Oh my gosh. I was just so happy to help. Like, this was one of those instances where I think about, like, when you know how to do something and you see that there's a need, like, why wouldn't you step in and be of assistance? And so having navigated these waters in with other nonprofits, it just felt like such an easy way to lend a hand. And I was so happy to do it. And I'm so proud and honored that our club raised as much money as we did. And we're like the talk of the area. I've had 4 different Rotary clubs reach out wanting to learn how we did what we did. And I'm doing like Zoom lessons with other Rotary clubs to help them as well. So like that's what this is all about, right? Like, we can keep giving and have that multiplier effect. So thank you so much, Kathy and Tracy. This is incredibly humbling, and I'm happy to do it. And if anybody else needs help with an auction with one of your nonprofits during these crazy times, just give me a call. I'd be more than happy to help. Thank you.
President Ryan, past President Phil, I'm in for the usual for Amy and Kathy and Tracy. That's just a wonderful thing for the club. Wonderful of them.
Well, thank you, past President Phil. It's very nice. And so that begs me to ask, is there anybody else who would like to contribute a usual to join into a toast, a spontaneous toast, to toast our auction committee for the great job they did?
President Ryan,
Yes.
it's Roberta Anderson. I also would like to do likewise.
Well, thank you, Roberta. And it's been great to see you on these meetings, Roberta.
It's nice to be here. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Curtis Grant, glad to join the group.
Thank you, past President Curtis.
Jeff Cowan, same thing, ditto. I'm
Thank you,
in.
past President. Thank you, past President Jeff. Anybody else? Wow, so much love. Don't make me tear up again. You guys know how I was when that auction total came in. Absolutely great. Thank you. We've taken the Paul Harris Awards, added a heaping of love onto them. Absolutely wonderful. And on behalf of the club district, our foundation's trustees, I thank you. It's just been absolutely great.